Happy Sunday, everybody. Woo! Good morning. It's so good to see all of you here today. Oh, it's a special day. It's September. We're in September. Where did summer go? Good riddance, right? We're ready for like 90-degree temperatures now. Oh, wow. So I just want to kind of get our energy centered to where we are right now. There's been a lot of chatting and hugging and kissing, which we're not supposed to do, or are we? I don't know, but I've been seeing it and I'm loving it because I love this community. I love what we do here. I love what we are in the world, and I'm grateful that we come here every Sunday to remind ourselves of who we are and to see that life that dwells within ourselves, that unique light that we all carry that's different for each of us, that expresses differently by means of all of us. And I love to see it all happening here. So I know everybody comes here for a different reason, and that's great because we're all going through different things, whether everything's good or we've got some challenges. This is a place to come, to open up, relax, and just let the love pour over you, and just to get whatever nuggets are yours to get today. And so I welcome you all. I invite you to stand up as we begin our opening song.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us make a joy. Sorry, we are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Woo! Oh my God. Woo! I love that song, One Big Family. So welcome again. At this time, I'd like to know if there is anybody here for the very first time. Anybody at all? Would you mind standing up? I just want to have a conversation with you. Hello, you two. We've already met. I can't wait for you to introduce yourselves to our congregation.
I'm Mark, and I live in Palm Desert.
Beautiful. And?
I'm Harriet. I live with him in Palm Desert.
I love him. They're married, I guess, or they're together.
He's a rabbi, and I am a social worker, and together we founded a place in L.A. called Beit Teshuvah, a recovery community.
Wow, we're so grateful to have that. And you were telling me that you've been to practitioners before. You said over 30 years ago you went to a practitioner.
Yeah, my spiritual journey began, really it's almost 40 years ago, with a Science of Mind practitioner in Los Angeles named Janet Levy, who guided me to my rightful work, leading me to become a Jewish jail lady, visiting Jewish prisoners, of whom he was one, and to start a place for people to recover.
That's awesome. We're glad to have you here today. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Thank you, sweetheart. And you are, go ahead and take that.
I'm Siri Brinkman, and I'm here visiting from Texas,
Woo!
North Dallas, and visiting my very best girlfriend here, Leanne.
Now, how'd she persuade you to come here today?
Oh, she didn't need to. I go to church every Sunday.
Fabulous. Are you a New Thought church or Christian, or what sort of church?
It's a non-denominational.
Fabulous.
But yeah.
Well, welcome. We're glad you're here with us, and thanks for bringing your friends. And you are?
Hello, my name is Nettie White, and my friend here, Ellen Owens, brought me here. She talked a lot. Positive. Talked a lot about this place.
What inspired you most about what she said that just kind of hooked you in, I got to go?
That you and all of the congregation of people that are here are very friendly, warm, welcoming, and that's what I needed. So,
Excellent. And those are true. That is true.
and she also told me I didn't have to say anything, so I didn't have a speech.
Oops. Sorry about that. Hello.
Hi. This is actually
Oh, here,
my
put it up
second-
closer to you. Ah.
It's my second time here, but I
Oh.
didn't stand up the first time.
Fabulous.
But I would like to share that I enjoyed it so much the first time. My Aunt Penny brought me. Now we have
Oh.
friends with us, too.
Fabulous.
Not their first time. But I enjoyed it so much, I wanted to make sure I was here on a Sunday so I could come back again.
Excellent.
So you will see me again.
Thank you.
Next time I won't stand up.
No, I appreciate that. Okay, I've got you over here. Hello. You are, your name?
I'm Pat from Palm Desert, and
Hi,
I've seen
Pat.
your sign, so I thought I'd drop in.
The sign brought you here. Wow. What about the sign? What spoke to you about the sign?
Well, you're open at 10, and you're spiritual.
Love it. Woo! We're open at 10. That's our tagline. We're open at 10 and we're spiritual. That's all we need to say, right? Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? No? Okay, so for those of you that had the courage to stand up today and talk, we have a welcome table over here, and after service, if you would go over there, we've got a gift for you. We've got Dr. James Mellon, who is the spiritual director of our center. He wrote a book called Mental Muscle, and so we have a gift of that for you, and we also have some other things to give you. And if you would like to be on our email list and get our weekly updates about what's going on at the center, you can sign up for that. And we also have a special gift for you that comes online that's a 7-day journal. So we've got lots for you, and we'll answer any questions you have. So welcome, and I know you're going to enjoy our service today, so thank you. So we've got a vision statement here that I always say, I know I get there's no too excited, right? Can I just stop saying that? There is no too excited about spirituality. That's my belief. And we have such a cool vision statement here. And it's easy to remember, and it sits well. It sits well inside the soul. So let's say our vision statement together. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. I love this because, it doesn't matter what you worship, who you worship, because these words are universal. Because love is the universal language of spirit. Whether we worship Allah or Buddha or Jesus, it doesn't matter because love is the common denominator to it all. And so we believe when we anchor ourselves in the energy of love, we are expanding ourselves. We're bringing goodness into the world, and we're bringing goodness into our life because whatever we're putting out there, we're bringing in. So when we're putting out love, love surrounds us. And forgive everything, always the challenger, right? How many people are like gung-ho about forgiveness work? I got 5. Well, that is the work to do to really open our channel of divine energy or love to flow, because forgiveness closes that up. Or lack of forgiveness closes that up. So when we forgive, we open up that channel of love to flow. And then the basic one is remember who you are. When you remember who you are, the other two are easy to practice, because we know who we are as these infinite beings that are eternal in nature. Yes, we're having a human experience here, but we are more than that. We are the energy of spirit in these forms that we live in. And so when we remember that, we don't need to be afraid. We know that there's infinite possibilities for us. And when we live in that state of really just accepting and knowing that we can do anything and we are everything, life is really a beautiful journey. So that is our vision statement. And our mission statement is, do it now, because I don't know about you, I am not postponing joy another moment in my life. So I practice the vision statement and good flow. So that is what we have to teach here, and I think it's a great teaching. So at this point, I would like to invite, we have a video first. Never mind. Video. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. James coming to you live from Croatia. We are on our last swim day, so shortly after this, I'll be taking all of this off and jumping in the water. But first, I wanted to let you all know what our theme is this amazing month of September. The theme is enthusiasm, as my mentor, Dr. Walker, used to say, enthusiasm. And what that means is enthusiasm is a feeling. It is an embracing of life from a sense of self that allows you to jump in, there's a good one, to jump in and feel what it feels like to really take your life in a direction that allows you to expand and express and just have joy in your life. So I have a question for you this month. The question I want you to ask yourself in every instance is, do I have enthusiasm for what I am about to do? And if you do, have at it. And if you don't, either find it or find something that you do have enthusiasm about. This is like, September's always back to school month for me. So September is an opportunity to take a new risk in your life, to take a new chance, to take a new adventure. And the enthusiasm comes from taking that next step. So I don't know what that next step is for all of us, for you individually, for me individually, but I do know this. Whatever that step is, I will have enthusiasm for it. Because if I don't, I'm not going to do it. So there you go. There's your charge for the month. Find the enthusiasm you have for life and then spend it. Just spend it. Have a great Sunday, everybody. You're in great hands with whoever is standing in front of you today. I send my love, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks. Namaste.
Whoever's standing in front of you today, oh, you're in good hands. I'm just teasing. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about our theme, as this is the first of the month, and we have a new theme, which is always so exciting. And so I am going to invite Laura Nicoletti up. She is a practitioner here at our center, and she's going to be sharing her thoughts about our theme, which is enthusiasm. So, Laura, welcome to the stage. So,
thank you.
These people are loving, kind, so we want to just take the edge off of anything you might be feeling and just let your light shine, because you're a beautiful being.
Thank you, Del. I really appreciate it.
So tell us what this enthusiasm theme is bringing up for you, or has brought up for you.
Well, when I was told it was enthusiasm, I laughed nervously because I was thinking, oh no, how ironic. I'm the one that has to speak about it the first of the month. So it's like I was feeling kind of blue earlier on in the summer because of circumstances and not too enthusiastic. It's kind of the opposite of enthusiasm, where when you're blue, you don't have motivation. But it kind of had a turning point for me because of my spiritual practices. You know, one of the spiritual tools that I use is gratitude, and to help turn that blue feeling around, you know, you have to walk through it. You don't just bypass it, but you use your practices to kind of move through it and move the energy around it to turn it around. And so part of that was gratitude. So
tell us how gratitude started to like turn the ship around, and you could open up to that energy of enthusiasm. What started to change for you?
Well, when I was grateful for the little things, it kind of brought the joy. And when the joy comes in, it kind of opens that space to have love infuse you. And so it's little steps at a time, little things to be grateful for. Like for me, my cats bring me joy. I'm so grateful for them. And it seems so small to say that, but they're little bundles of joy, even though they're ornery sometimes, you know.
Sometimes.
You know, whatever brings you joy, and the gratitude for that, it just opens it, breaks it wide open, and then enthusiasm can fill in that space.
Yeah, that is so lovely. And you've talked a lot about gratitude. Laura taught a gratitude workshop to our women's group, and we just sat in gratitude, and we were talking about what we were grateful for, and everybody was just on cloud nine when they left that workshop, because you focused us on that energy instead of focusing on the blue and the down. When we start to, like you said, you start to feel and ignite the feeling of gratitude, it starts to build, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It's like a building energy, and you can just lean into that. And you don't want to like
Bring your
just,
mic
you
up.
don't want to like bypass what you're feeling. You of course experience it, but then as you're walking through it, you don't need to, but it's good to practice spiritual practices to help you improve or elevate your vibration.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, too, it's really because sometimes science of mind gets a bad rap and people say you deny life, you deny circumstances. And we're really not denying anything. We know what happens in this world, but we bring in our spiritual wisdom to allow us to walk through it with a little more lightness. So we're not saying it doesn't exist. We do. We walk through it, but when we have a little gratitude in there, it makes the journey easier, and insights come more quickly, I think, when we're in there.
And there's more serendipity, more synchronicity,
Yes.
more flow into the connection of spirit.
Absolutely. So what are you enthusiastic about today?
Well, I'm enthusiastic about being on stage for the first time. I'm enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic to start ministerial school.
Oh, yep, future minister.
So it's kind of daunting, but I made up my mind. I have the intention. I'm just going to go for it. So.
Yeah, and you've had the call for a long time, so I'm glad the time is now, and you're going to be great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Laura, let's go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our affirmation for the month? Oh, before you start, you do have cards that are on your seats that are this. They have the theme of the month on here and on the back. There's information about the center, and you can take them home with you and hand them out to people if you want to take some extras. We love to get our name out there in the community and what we're doing, so feel free. And there's also like a little, what is it called, a QR code? QR code. If you put your phone on that, it takes you to our calendar of events. So we're giving you lots of opportunities to see what we're doing here. So anyways, back to the affirmation. Laura, what is it today?
It's enthusiasm. Today, I will allow the winds of enthusiasm to fill my soul.
That feels good, doesn't it?
Yes.
I like that. So you guys, let's hear it from you. Today, I allow the winds of enthusiasm to fill my soul. Again, I got to hear it amped up a little more, please. Here we go. Today, I allow the winds of enthusiasm to fill my soul. Awesome. Thank you. You're staying put.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and take your position, we're going to take the lights down. Since this is the first Sunday of the month, this is where we do the Flames of Faith, where we acknowledge various religions and wisdom traditions that all have something really important to say. And this life that we live, I say thank God for religions and philosophies, because life would be a little difficult without some sort of guidance about what's going on beyond this physical realm, to be able to teach us about the spirit, about the soul, about love, about God, about whatever you call that higher energy that is meaningful to you. And so today we're just going to honor a few of those religions and wisdom traditions, because Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of Science of Mind, the faith tradition that we practice here, he took from various religions and philosophies and he wove them into this beautiful teaching that is really about love and honoring all paths to spirit. And so we're going to get started with that. With our first religion is the Tao, more of a philosophy. And the Tao teaches us about balance between spirit and earth, man and woman, all those things that appear to be opposites, seeing beyond the opposites and seeing how they come together as one to bring forward a balanced reality, a balanced universe. And the Tao is all about that. And the Tao teaches us that we don't need to name that higher power. We don't need to call it anything. We just need to feel it and experience. Because that's really what spirit is all about. It really goes beyond the five senses. It goes beyond boxes and words. It's something that is so big and expansive that to put a word on it limits what it's all about. And our next religion is the Shamanic Traditions, and these are the ancient earth traditions. And they are all about seeing that spirit in all forms of life, from the sky to people to trees to rocks to the river to the mountains. It's all spirit expressing. And there's such a deep respect in the shamanic traditions to be able to see that there's something that every form of life brings into this world at large, and to honor that and respect that. A beautiful way to walk this world, to be able to see everything is here for a purpose. And also the healing power that is in everything as well. The shamanic traditions teach us that healing is everywhere present, and that certain rituals allow us to channel that healing energy to bring forth this wholeness of life that is innate to us. And our next religion is Hinduism, the oldest religion. And Hinduism, again, teaches us about one spirit, but many, many forms, many faces. And the richness of seeing the different ways in which that divine essence manifests as us as human beings and in the world, and just to be in that state of respect and love for all life. And the next religion is Judaism. And Judaism teaches us also about one God and the importance of spiritual law. To know that spiritual law, to follow it, to honor it, brings order into life. It gives us the ability to do well in this life when we know that that law is for our greater good. It is there for us to teach us how to live in this highest way possible, to honor the divine, to see the presence of God, to see our connection with it, and to walk that path in complete oneness as that. And our next religion is Buddhism. Buddhism teaches us about mindfulness, about compassion, about love, and detaching from everything, to be the observer, to not get caught up in this worldly stuff, and to be able to see things with the eyes of spirit, to be able to understand the role we play in our life, and to make those adjustments in consciousness when life isn't turning out the way we want, to be able to take that step back and see what we are thinking and what we are doing so that we can create a joyful life. And our next religion is Christianity. Love and forgiveness. Love and forgiveness. Seeing spirit in all beings. Non-judgment. Christianity teaches us that we are here to connect with each other, to tear down the walls that we use to separate ourselves, and to live in that state of compassion and love, and to treat each other well. That is what Christianity teaches us. And our next religion is Islam, the power of prayer. 5 times a day dropping into prayer. What a beautiful, beautiful ritual that is. To step out of the everyday and going back to God and honoring that presence, that oneness. To stand in that energy 5 times a day. I believe if we all did that, we'd be feeling a lot better in this life. We'd be more relaxed, more at peace, more joyful, and we would be showing up in such a beautiful way. And so I love that Islam is the call to prayer. What a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And our next is the Baha'i, and the Baha'i is all about unity and oneness and peace in the world by understanding that we are all here, we're the same being, just practicing different ways of being that in our divinity. And so Baha'i teaches us in order to have world peace, we've got to recognize and respect everybody for their beliefs, everybody for what they're doing, and to be loving and kind and gentle, to live that every single day. And the next one is New Thought religions and philosophies, like what we do here. And New Thought came along at a time when there were people in ministry, Christian ministry, that were disgruntled because they had this knowing inside of themselves that God isn't outside here, God is right here. And so these people like Emerson and Thoreau, they taught that there's a different way to be practicing spirituality, and it's through knowing who you are, basically. It's seeing spirit in your life, in yourself, and just knowing that your consciousness has everything to do with your experience. And so we do the work in consciousness, and life changes. And so it's all about that, knowing that our healing is within our consciousness as well, to be able to see the wholeness of life that we are. And our last one is all the future religions that are going to come up, because they are. Religions and philosophies that are going to bubble up through the collective evolution of man. Because as we grow and expand ourselves and we change, the way that we practice spirituality will change. It's natural. Look how far we've come. And so we open the door for that. We say yes to whatever new people are coming forward to bring new information about how we know ourselves as spirit. And so we're grateful for that and how that is evolving for all of us. And so now we're going to drop into some meditations. So thank you, Laura, for doing a great job on the lights. And I'd like to invite my beautiful, beautiful singers. And so I invite you just to take a moment. If you want to close your eyes, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's cool too. But we're going to just take a few minutes to turn our minds off. We're just going to relax our energy and just slowly come into our hearts now. Come to a place where we could connect with that deeper well of life that everybody has. To connect with it, to open up to it, to invite the energy up into every single part of our beingness. And as our curtain goes up, just seeing that life out there that is so beautiful, and just connecting with it all, because even though we are in these bodies, we are one with everything. And so I invite you to drop into the depth of knowing that for yourself, and just allow whatever comes up to come up for you.
I want to go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into love. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine. To go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into truth. I want to go deeper, deeper into truth. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine. I want to go deeper, deeper into truth.
And so just being aware of your breath right now, and really fill up your lungs as you inhale, and as you exhale, letting go a little bit more, dropping a little deeper, and feel that life, that energy that is so vibrant, that love that just wants you to experience it always. And so just continuing this time, just feeling the flow and relaxing a little more.
I want to go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into love. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine. deeper into love.
Just taking a moment. Just taking a moment. And so I invite you just to be aware of your body, reconnect with it. Just breathe deeply. Knowing with each breath you take, you become more aware of where you are in this room. Just feeling the connection, the energy here. Your feet on the floor. Whenever you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes, and the lights will follow. Thank you. I would like to invite Alicia to stay on the stage and sing it like you do.
I've been working hard so long. It seems like pain has been my only friend. My fragile heart's been done so wrong. I wonder if I'd ever heal again. Oh, just like all the seasons, nothing stays the same. All around me I can feel a change. Oh, I will break these chains that bind me. Happiness will find me. Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins. A whole new world is waiting. It's mine for the taking. I know I can make it. Today my life begins. Yesterday has come and gone, and I've learned how to leave it where it is. And now I see I was so wrong, forever doubting I could win. Oh, just like all the seasons never stay the same. All around me I can feel a change. Oh, I will take these chains that bind me. Happiness will find me. Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins. A whole new world is waiting. It's mine for the taking. I know I can make it. Today my life begins. Life's too short to have regrets, so I'm learning how to leave it in the past and try to forget. Only have one life to live, so you better make the best of it.
Break these chains that bind me. Happiness will find me.
Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins. A whole new world is waiting. It's mine for the taking. I know I can make it. Today my life begins.
I will break these chains that bind me. Happiness
Won't find me. Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins. A whole new world is waiting. It's mine for the taking. I know I can make it. Today my life begins. Oh, today my life begins. Today my life begins.
Thank you. She didn't know that song when I gave it to her last week. And when I was watching her, I go, God, she just mastered that and sang it with such passion. Oh, thank you, thank you. So I thought I would start today with an embarrassing story about myself. You know, jump in. I find such catharsis with sharing my past with you and how I've walked through life and what I am today. So I thought, let's start with one of those old stories that I really am embarrassed about. So here we go. So when I was 16 years old and got my driver's license, my sister, I got her car. I inherited her Fiat, which we called Fix It Again Tony. And I will tell you, it lived up to its name. It was always in the shop, but I loved that little car, and I drove it for quite a long time. And when I was in my early 20s, I received an inheritance because my grandma had passed away. And I thought, it's time for me to get rid of Fix It Again Tony because I'm ready for something new. I wanted a brand new car because I'd never had one before. And so I was living in Santa Barbara, and I was going to school, but I was starting to get more independent with what I was doing in the world. And so I thought, I'm going to be really independent and go buy my own car. And so I did, and I paid full price because I didn't know you're supposed to negotiate. But I didn't know that until I called my father. And I said, Dad, I called Dad and Mom. I go, God, you guys, I got a new car. That's how I spent my inheritance from Mima. And there was this pregnant pause. And my dad goes, you what? He goes, do you know how to buy a car, Dale? And I said, yeah, you just go, you look at it, you see if it meets your standards, and you pay money for it. And he blew his top off at me. He just reamed me. He was yelling at me. He had a way, I will tell you. That man, when his anger went, I mean, it was before we had like the Apple phones and all that, well before that, so I couldn't really see him, but my mind's eye knew exactly the shade of red he was turning when he was yelling at me. And so I felt about this small when I hung up the phone, and I felt so terrible about myself. And I didn't know what to do. And so I thought, I'm going to go out and look at the car. So I walked out to the car, and there she was. It was a Jimmy, but when the Jimmys just came out. And I was so excited because I was kind of more sporty at that time in my life, more outdoorsy. And so I thought, this is going to be so fun. I'm going to be able to camp. And so I'm looking at this car, and my mood changed. I started to smile, and I go, oh my God, she's gorgeous. I'm getting in. And so I got in the car, and I was looking at that beautiful console and the radio and the seats and that new car smell, and I was just filled up with so much joy. I slammed the car door, I said, screw you, Dad, and I took off for the foothills of Santa Barbara and had a great time. And yes, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson because there were so many from my dad, and that was one, and I never bought another new car without his help in the future. So that was that. So that's my story. So I'm talking today about newness, that feeling of newness that stirs us up, that is exciting, that is bringing us that enthusiasm, that opens up this channel of excitement for us. And so my first quote is this by Thomas Merton. He says this, there is in us an instinct for newness, for renewal, for a liberation of creative power. We seek to awaken in ourselves a force which really changes our lives from within. And as you know, we're all about change from within at this center. And I do believe that within us, there is such a strong yearning for newness. This dress is new, by the way, because I had a strong yearning for newness today. I love new. Yep. I just think newness wakes our soul up. And we're in August right now. Well, no, we're not in August. August is like, to me, it's like the doldrums. And especially living in the desert, it's like you've had enough of the heat. You're just done. And there's just, I know a lot of people I speak with, I'm not talking about for everybody, of course, but I know there's sort of a boredom that starts to set in at the end of summer. And it's a time to kind of start to say, I need something new in my life. I need something to wake me up. I need something to stir my soul. And so my call to you today and what I'm going to be talking about is tuning into what newness is for you and what newness brings into your life. Because I know when we go and have newness like a new car, a new relationship, new shoes, a new dress, a new home, a new career, there is just something really invigorating about it. And I believe that September is a great time to start leaning into new energy for yourself. the other day I have some of my days are real habitual. It's like I drive there, and then home. And I was really feeling the routine of it all. And I was going, my God, drive here, drive there. I am so bored of this. And I was like, I need something new in my life. And the only thing I did was I love apps. Does anybody here like phone apps and the different things you can learn? I love it. And I've always wanted to learn French. And so I got like this advertisement for an app that teaches you a foreign language. And so I just started doing this app, and it's bringing newness into my life. See how little it can be? But it's bringing newness into my life, and I'm excited because every day you do like 10 minutes, and it's all positive reinforcement, and it's really, really fun because it's stretching my mind, and it's exciting me because I'm learning something new. So newness is something, it doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be just a little something new in your life. And so today, newness, to see it, to be in it, and to know it's really a call of the soul. Because we aren't here to be stagnant. We are here to continually evolve and expand ourselves. And so we look at what is ours to expand and bring some newness into our lives. And so my next quote is actually just homage to the Jewish high holidays, which are at the end of September. And since I'm usually the person to talk to you about Jewish holidays, it's perfect that I'm here today and we can talk a little bit about it. So most of you know that I was raised in a conservative Jewish home, and we were very religious, and we did all the holidays. We didn't do kosher, but we were at a temple. I was bat mitzvah, all that good stuff. And the Jewish high holidays, for me, and this is just my experience, were an interesting mix of joy and fear. Because what I was taught is that this high holiday period is a time of going within and really looking at what you've been up to in your behaviors the last year. How have you been treating people? How have you been showing up in the world? And most importantly, your relationship with God. Have you been honoring the Jewish traditions? And so it's a time where we have to look within ourselves. And part of this tradition is you want to be written in the book of life in the next year. That's part of it. And so we have the new year where we celebrate. You can see here the honey and the apples because we celebrate a sweet next year of life. We want to call that into our life experience. And so as we call that in, after the holiday for the new year is celebrated, we've got 10 days where we got to sit in our stuff. We got to really look at ourselves until on Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, we fast and we really dive into all what we would call the sins that we have committed. And I'll tell you, just a sidebar. So I had such a great family growing up. I had my grandma who was really, really religious. She just kept a kosher kitchen. She did everything. She sat in services all day on Yom Kippur and on Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year. And then I had my dad, who was totally irreverent. And so on Kol Nidre, and I love that, right? And you see where that comes from. So there's this, Kol Nidre is the service that you go to the night of Yom Kippur, because Jewish holidays, they usually start in the evening and then they go into the next day. And so we had this ritual where we would go to Kol Nidre, beautiful service, and what you're normally supposed to do is go home and think about things. You're not supposed to eat, but not in the Olansky family. We went to this great restaurant in LA on La Cienega called Ollie Hammond's. Does anybody remember Ollie Hammond's? Oh my God, right? The red booth, total old school. If they were still around here, like I would go there for cocktails. Like it was so cool in that way. So we didn't have cocktails though. So what we did, my dad would say to me and my sister, he'd say, we're gonna go over to Ollie Hammond's and have a bite to eat. And a bite to eat was a steak sandwich with French fries and a Coke. And so while we're supposed to be in this state of reverence and not eating and really feeling the stuff, we're sitting there having a good old time at Ollie Hammond's. And so I love that, though, because my dad, he was so funny because he would always say, I got it in with God. He goes, I've got the inside scoop with God. He was so cool like that. Now here's my grandma, and my dad's like, no, you don't need to, you can eat a cheeseburger, you can eat all day tomorrow. So, but he taught me a different way to see spirituality, and I brought both of them together because I love the reverence, but I love the irreverence as well. So that was what the High Holy Days were for me. But what's really cool, now I stand here in this place where I'm all about translating holidays and rituals metaphysically. And even though there was a little terror I felt at the high holidays, because even though I had my dad telling me what he told me, and I questioned how I was taught about God. I wondered, is that really what God is? Judgmental and standing there and looking at my sins and writing me or not writing me in the book of life. There was a part of me that thought that's possible or not possible, but I still was a little scared, and I was just praying that I was going to be in that book of life. But as I look at this holiday now, which I love, I think this holiday is so rich for all of us. It is, the Jewish people created something wonderful, as did all religions, but there is such goodness in the stories that these teach us because they're teaching us about life. They are not meant to scare us. They really aren't. They're there to teach us to know who we are. To be quite honest with you, that's where I take this. And I believe I see the Jewish holiday as, and that shofar right there, that is blown at the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. And to me, it's a call to God. It's a call to take us out of this milieu that we live in, all of these things, these life experiences, and the politics, and the children, and the life, and the allness, and all this stuff we get so attached to. We blow that shofar, and it says, turn away from that and look here. Look here, because this thing that you are, this amazing energy that you are, that is vibrant, that is alive, that is not bound by anything except belief. So if you know, and that shofar blows, and you remember, oh my gosh, this is who I am. I am this allness. I am this expandedness. I have everything inside of me that will allow me to live the greatest life possible. So it's all about tuning into that truth and looking within. Look within and see, where am I off? Where am I out of alignment with my spiritual nature? Where am I not seeing the truth? This is the call, I believe, of the holiday, to really wake us up to what's real, for what's always there that we don't pay attention to, that's always trying to get our attention and say, you're bigger than this. You're bigger than your circumstances. You are the nature of this beautiful, amazing, creative energy that never stops. And so this thing about the book of life, I believe it's all about inscribing ourselves in the flow of life. Inscribe yourself in your own book of life. So many of us, and I'm one, there have been times in my life where I have been so disconnected with life because I didn't believe in who I was. I was seeing myself through the eyes of failure and disappointing others and not doing what I was taught to do. And I'm not in the book of life when I'm doing that. But when I came into this philosophy and I learned, oh, I'm so much more than that I am this energy of spirit that is so amazingly expansive, I'm in the book of life. I am right there on page 1, writing my book of life as I see it. That's what I believe this is teaching us. And my next quote is this. So I love to just be kind of crazy going from Judaism to Hinduism, right? It's all one. So Swami Sri Yukteswar, who was the guru to Paramahansa Yogananda, who's a favorite of mine, he says this: everything in the future will improve if you are making a spiritual effort now. And that's what we teach you here, right? People who come here, myself included, we usually come here because something's not right inside of ourselves. Something's not working in life. Or somebody just drags us here because they think we would like it. But it means that there's something we want to improve in our life. And what we teach here is going to your spirituality to make your improvements. And this quote really says it all, that we will improve our future by making the spiritual effort now, which is just what these Jewish holidays are about. Make the spiritual effort. Turn within and find that godness that you are. That's how you improve your life. And to me, this is all tying into newness. And my next quote is this. So Ernest Holmes, and I know I talk a lot about that childlike nature of who we are, because I think that childlike nature holds the key to our life flow of creative energy to be flowing unobstructedly. That, to me, is the key. And it's not like you have to be a kid again. It's just that we point you to reflecting on the feeling of being a child, because a lot of us left it there, never to come back. And so to teach about feeling that childlike innocence in nature awakens us to what's possible and who we really are, because we get kind of jaded with our life experiences. And we start getting despondent and disconnecting and not seeing that there's a greater possibility. And so Ernest Holmes says this: who would not be a child again? Who would not again have the simple faith and childlike trust that somehow or other we seem to lose on the pathway of experience? And we do. I'm one. I lost that child thing, and I went looking for it like crazy when people told me that's where to start. Because that little child gets really wounded, and we cut it off because maybe we're told, oh, you're being silly, or don't be like a child, and we just start closing that up and limiting ourselves. And it's such a great flow of energy, that childlike nature, that trust. I work with so many people that don't trust anymore, and especially themselves. And I'm here to tell you, you can trust yourself. You absolutely can, because deep within you is such a high knowing of wisdom and power, so big. All of you here, all of you at home, it is so big. And it's not showing up as big because we don't trust it. And so it's about learning again to trust that power. And my next quote is again part of this Ernest Holmes quote. I know, isn't that fun? Whee! Things crowd in on us until we lose some of the greatest of all gifts, the simple, spontaneous joy of living and a trust in the power of good, which alone is able, ready, and willing to meet all of our needs. And this, I believe, is so true. The greatest gift we have, we were born with it. We were so born with it. And look at that feeling state. Can you feel what that feels like, everybody? Someone's throwing you. I was thrown up a lot as a child because I was so teeny. Even like when I was 8, people were throwing me in the air. But I love that. I love that feeling of just, woo, and there's just that trust. Yeah, there's somebody that's going to catch me and I can come down. And even though we don't teach about, we really don't teach about an anthropomorphic God. We don't teach that God is this person that's taking care of you. We just teach here that your consciousness really creates your reality, and that there's an energy that we're all tuned into that responds to our beliefs. So if I believe that the energy of the universe has always got my back, then I can walk in this world trusting in that because I see it all the time. We do create our realities by our beliefs. So if you're believing I'm in a safe world and I can trust, then my God, you are expanding yourself into new horizons. So this is what we teach you about trusting you and your ability to change what your life is about by changing your consciousness. And so it's not an obstacle, but I guess, I say all this stuff and I lay it out there for you, and then it's like, well, how do I achieve this? How do I do that? And so first I want to talk about the story of us and Reverend William. So Reverend William, wasn't he great last week? So Reverend William, he spoke about how spirit and spiritual truths and stories about our souls are in songs, they're in pop culture, they're in movies, TV shows. And he brought The Mandalorian up, which is a great TV show, and it's a kind of a Star Wars break-off. And so he was telling me after the service, because he inspired me, and he was telling me a little bit about it. And so I watched a couple episodes of it. And I thought, oh my God, this is the story about us, which is really what stories are. That's why we're intrigued by stories, because they're showing us what's going on inside of ourselves, and it's showing us how it plays out and what we can do and what's possible. And that's why you brought that up, and it was so great. And so I'm bringing the Mandalorian back today. So you can see the Mandalorian is this being that is totally armored up. He's a bounty hunter, and he's just all about doing his job and his business, right? He gets a call, you need to go kill this person or get that and bring it and you'll get paid. That's kind of it. No nonsense, no emotion, that's it, right? And I got just an aside, he is the coolest. He has the coolest defense system because they're showing all these things he does because it's this one guy and he's got all these things around him. They're shooting at him and throwing things at him. And man, he's got this fire thing. He can set everybody on fire. He had these guys behind him, and I'm going, oh, he's going to get captured or something. Oh, no. He presses this button, and all these missiles fly behind him and kills everybody. And I was so intrigued. It was like nothing could stop this guy. And I thought, that is so cool. But then I had to remember, I started looking at it metaphysically, and I thought, that makes me feel good on the inside because it makes me realize that no one can harm me. There's a possibility where I can have a consciousness of the Mandalorian where nothing can harm me. But that's not why I talk about the Mandalorian today. The Mandalorian, I told you he's real businesslike and all that, but he gets captivated by this baby Yoda who is so freaking cute. But he gets captivated by baby Yoda. He gets emotionally attached. And he's not supposed to do that. He's all about business. But he was fixated and couldn't stop thinking about this baby Yoda because that was his mission. He was to get the baby Yoda to this other party. That was it. And he did it, but he couldn't stop thinking about baby Yoda. And he ended up, well, I'm not going to tell you the story, but it got ugly. And he had to take matters into his own hands. But baby Yoda to me was so inspiring for the Mandalorian because he was walled up from life. And baby Yoda is that childlike nature. I mean, look at this. He was so wanting, deep within himself, so wanting to bring that newness back to life. And that's what baby Yoda symbolized for him. And he had to care for this baby Yoda because it was caring for a part of himself that had long gone. And so I think this is a story about us. You know, we go through life, we armor up, we're impenetrable, but look what we're keeping out of our life, the baby Yoda. We're keeping that young newness that is creative, that newness that brings life to a place where there's an open channel for the flow of life to be joyful, for the enthusiasm to build from deep within ourselves. That's where it lies. And we all might have different visions of baby Yoda and what that means to us. Whatever it means to you, there's something that you're inspired by, that you're captivated by, that's got your attention because it's telling you there's something new and beautiful that you need to open up to, just like the Mandalorian opened up to baby Yoda. And my next quote is this. So how do we do this, right? I lay all this out, it sounds great, but it's like, what do we do? How do we get moving on this? So I put a little to-do list together, and I don't normally do this kind of stuff where the word is, the actual word, the first letter of the word means something, so I leave this for you, and if you want me to send it to you by email, I can. So this is how do we remove that armor? Because it's been with us for a while, and it feels unsafe when we take it off, or the idea of taking it off, right? I totally get that. We can't just take it all off and be free. We've been living with that armor. It's imprinted on our skin and on our minds. But we can take steps to remove it. And here are my simple steps. So R, remember who you are, right? We talked about this at the top of service. When you remember who you are, you're fearless. You know that you are this energy, this aliveness, and you're safe, and you're good, and you're expansive. Remember that. And you can move forward. Remember that everything is okay, because sometimes it gets really scary when that armor comes off. You remember everything is okay because you're returning yourself to your divine wholeness, to the essence of who you are. So you're good. You've got this. Whenever we take on a spiritual endeavor, I believe we are supported so big by that energy through synchronicity, through newness coming in, through you've got this coming in from somewhere. M, move one piece at a time. Don't take it all at once. Take one off at a time. Let yourself get used to it. O, it's okay to feel uneasy because you know what? Change does have its side to it that can be uncomfortable, right? And that's okay. It's just a temporary thing. Just a temporary thing. You're going to get used to not having the armor on, and you're going to see the immense power that you have, because as that armor comes off, it gives your power a place to go instead of being shut down. V, value and take notice of the flowing creative energy within you. It's always really good to recognize your growth and recognize the newness that's coming forward, because when you recognize it and say, wow, look at this energy that it's now flowing through me. When you say that and acknowledge it, more goes. It expands it. It makes it more powerful. It wants to come out and play. And E, the good news, expansion is permanent. You never go back. Isn't that the good news? That's my favorite part of it. So try this out. little to-do list. My next quote is this. So what's new? What's new? That's my talk title today. So what is new for you? What do you want to do that you've kind of been thinking about, that's something you haven't done before? Is it to learn another language? Is it to go for a hike one day a week? Is it to change your thinking? There's a good one. You know, we get in these thinking loops, and they can be stagnating, right? So it's good to see, how are you thinking? Is there a new thought? You know, we teach new thought here. That's what this philosophy is about, new thought, because when we bring new thoughts in, the old thoughts go away that are not life-affirming. And when we bring these new thoughts in of remembering who we are, everything starts to shift and change. And what I love about doing that in front of all of you and all of us together, we get support through these changes. We get support when we say, wow, I'm having this change and this is happening. You have people here that are saying, go for it, keep going, you've got this. You've got a whole room of cheerleaders here, practitioners and ministers. That's what we do here. We tell you, you are on the path, keep it going, because you're going to be so mind blown by how much you change. I worked with a woman, God, at least 5 or 10 years ago, and she wasn't really in this teaching, but she was captivated by it. And she used to tell me in class, she'd go, because I would say, you're going to change, you're going to see it, and she'd go, I doubt it. And I would just keep telling her, and I looked at her in the eye, and I go, I guarantee you, you are going to be a new woman, because she was really closed off, like very depressed, and I said, you are going to be a new woman. I guarantee it. And she goes, okay, I'm sure. And I had lunch with her. Her and her husband just moved to New Mexico a while ago. And I had dinner with her, and I put it in her face. I said, okay, remember what you were telling me when you were first in class? And she goes, I know. And she goes, because she loves her life now. She loves who she is. And I told her she would, and she did. And that was so extraordinary to see. So this philosophy works is really what I'm trying to say. So my next quote is from the song that Alicia so beautifully sang. I will break these chains that bind me. Happiness will find me. Leave the past behind me. Today my life begins. A whole new world is waiting. It's mine for the taking. I know I can make it. Today my life begins. Today my life begins. You know, and our life begins new every single day. When we wake up, we have a clean slate. We have opportunities to make choices and decisions for ourselves. So what new decision are we going to make to break those chains of old thinking and old habits that just aren't serving for us anymore, that don't fit anymore, that we've outgrown? It's time to get a new wardrobe so that we can really show who we are and live in this energy of the extraordinary that we all are. And so as you all know, we've got classes coming up. They start September 12th. Talk about newness. We've got Dr. James teaching mental muscle. I'm teaching the secret of success, and Dr. Tiffany is teaching the power of mind. All of these classes are going to teach you something new about yourself. And at the completion of those classes, you're going to be a whole new person who is vibrating in this level of energy that is excited, enthusiastic, and ready to jump into the book of life that we are all living. So my call to you, as Dr. James he always calls us to do something. My call to action for you is start being open to something new, as little or big. Just be open to something new and bring it into your life, because that's where goodness and expansion begins, in finding something new through that creative energy that we all are, saying yes to it, opening up, and having at it. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's come on out. Thank you. Appreciate your listening to me today. Just some ramblings. Oh, great. Okay, so this is the part of our service where we do our offertory, and we are just very appreciative of the financial gifts that you give to us, because it's all, you guys are it. You guys are the ones that allow us to show up here every Sunday, to have wonderful people working here, wonderful musicians and guest artists. And so whatever you give to us today, we are most grateful, and you can always give online, send a check, do whatever. We're just grateful for you, because we are building a really alive and vibrant community here, and you're a part of it. So thank you for all you do. So we're going to say this prayer together. Please join me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are all so blessed. We are so blessed with everything, with life, with joy, with peace, with goodness. And I'm so grateful to recognize that in this moment, the blessings flowed for all of us to receive and to give. And so I am knowing that everything that was collected today is going to the perfect place to allow life to thrive and expand, for goodness to flow, and for the energy of the universe to be revealed in such glorious ways. I just say thank you for what you give, and I am knowing you are receiving your good, pressed down, flowing, and abundant, abundant, abundant. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Thank you.
These are your Spiritual Center of the Desert announcements. This Tuesday, the men's group, led by Reverend William Conway and Ronald Williams, will meet on Zoom from 7 to 8 p.m. The link to join is on our website and in our weekly email. Take a deep dive into a peace that surpasses understanding. You're invited to join us on Friday, September the 9th for Soul Immersion. It's an hour of pure vibrational bliss. Next Sunday, Rainbow Alliance will host their monthly brunch at Jay's Deli following service. It's a wonderful opportunity to make new friends and enjoy great food. On Monday, September 12th, let the transformation begin. Join Dr. James for Mental Muscle, 16 weeks of spiritual boot camp. That evening, take a deep dive into the secret of success with Reverend Dale Olansky. She'll meet you on Zoom at 6 p.m. Wednesday night, engage the power of the mind with Dr. Tiffany Milne at 6:30 on Zoom. Check out our full calendar of classes on our website. Take one or take them all. True transformation awaits. Happy birthday to Ruth Meyer. Enjoy. Please stop by our welcome and activity tables in the back of the room for more information on these and other activities. And please visit our website for our complete calendar. We're a full-time center with something for everyone.
Right. Those are so fun. I feel like we should be applauding after they do that. So we've got a lot going on this week. I also want to just present you that we do have our soul immersion. It was in the announcements. It's turning into such a glorious, wonderful ritual for people, so much so that we now have it twice a month. So here, 6 p.m. Friday, bring your yoga mat, blanket, pillows, whatever, and just allow the sound bowls to drench you with really great energy. It's turning into quite a thing. Following service, if you would like a prayer with one of our practitioners, you can go to the Om Room, which is just outside of this sanctuary. You can't miss it. It's it's the right from here. And we've got Jackie Perry and Holly Dickinson. Could you guys stand up? They're two of our practitioners. And if you're going through a challenge or you just need some clarity and some prayer around something, they're beautiful practitioners and they'd be more than happy to pray with you. So I encourage you to go see them if that's something that is calling you to do. And I think that's it for my announcements today. I want to thank you so much for being here today and being part of our community. I want a special thank you to Scott, the two Bobs, and Alicia. Come on out, Alicia, and Mike and Jason, our beautiful backup singers. They're so extraordinary. And thank you. They just bring such richness. You're awesome. And to Gilmore, who is such a loving man back there, and Chris and Stephanie in the way back, and Reverend William and Elizabeth for really keeping the engine of this center going strong and growing in a beautiful way. Thank you too. And all of our practitioners and ministers who are remarkable people who have an amazing consciousness and really are doing a lot to keep this center in its high vibration, as we say. So thank you all for what you do and for bringing yourselves and your consciousness to our community. And so before we go into our final song, I'm just going to say a few words just to seal this experience up for all of us. And so what I know in this moment of clarity, this moment of just relaxing and just allowing what's bubbling up to come up, maybe there's some idea that now has a place to go because you're welcoming it. Or perhaps there's something interesting you that you want to pursue. It doesn't matter. Allow the new. You are safe in the new. If we didn't do new things, we would never be evolving as a species. So thank God we're all into bringing that in. So I know that as we begin this week and just tuning into the enthusiasm of our soul and letting it break through the layers, taking down the armor and letting that childlike energy flow, the creative potential to really reveal itself to us so that we can take our life into a direction where we can live this reality of joy and health and wealth and connection and being who we are. And so I just know a beautiful day, a beautiful week for everybody as I know that life is opening up something new for all of us. And so I just let go, knowing everything's always working perfectly because this universe is operated by divine right action and order. And so as I let go, I'm just in awe of what I'm witnessing because it's extraordinary, because it's you growing. And I say, bravo, continue and never stop. And so I just let go. I let it be as we say together. And so it is. Have a wonderful week and join us in our final song.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it Well, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on and let it shine, 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 shine. Have a good day, everybody.